Hello, my Starlight Collective. It's SuCoco, your divine oracle. How are you? I'm doing well. I hope everyone's having a very happy, productive, light filled New Year's. 2026 is finally upon us. Big changes are coming through. And so let's jump right in. So we're getting two angels. Listen deeply and raise your vibration. All right. Listen deeply and raise your vibration, collective. The message of listening deeply has been one that's been coming through very strongly for the collective. Pardon me in confirmation verb. I'm gonna just pull a gemstone card with that as well. So these are gonna be our guidance. What do we need to know? Hematite, metallic charcoal, blood. Okay. If you're feeling stagnated or spun out on something, lifelong existential drama, align to your wholeness. Okay. For those of you feeling stuck, align to your wholeness. It's time to get in touch with yourself and I'm getting earth energy. I'm going to be reading with the Vice Versa Tarot deck. I really love this deck. It scares me a little because I'm like, what does it mean? I got this deck and I didn't really get it with the guidebook. So I was like, oh, what does it mean? I'm just going to trust my intuition to guide me for this reading, and I'm getting a lot of very positive, warm, nurturing energy. And listen deeply because I'm getting the message right now that, part of the collective is feeling kind of lost or rudderless, just misguided, or just you're just operating, but you don't really have a North Star. It's this energy of okay, I'm doing the motions of a human being, but why? There's a sense of this energy of just blase. What am I doing it for? Is this all it is? And maybe you might be in search of clarity, in search of understanding, of just feeling something, or what could make this situation make sense. That's kind of what's coming through. And I want you to know that, your feelings are valid, but also know that they're, I'm really feeling a strong guardian angel, divine presence kind of stepping forward. And maybe that's why this video showed up on your feed, is because that guardian angel wants you to remember, hey, there is something so much better and so much more meaningful for you. I'm going to just pull one confirmation card. Yeah, you're searching right now and you're on a quest of discovery. You are looking for the light, and it's you don't even realize it, how much magic, how much potential is literally at your feet. And it's kind of you're searching everywhere, but the real treasure was you all along, or inside you all along. And I know that could be corny for a lot of people. Sorry, I'm corny. But yeah, you're searching and you're trying to find something, but it's I find this card really funny because, honey, this night has a lantern, but it's broad day. Where are you going, girl? It's broad daylight, so why do you have your lantern to light the way? But and he's so blase, he's a little, okay, whatever. But he's riding on a unicorn, the most magical of creatures. Unicorns versus dragons. Unicorn here. But all I'm gonna say with that is just what you're searching for could be right in front of you. This lack of oh, you're feeling as if is this all there is? Where's the magic? And it could also be coming from a place of just life is a lot and it's hard to just keep going and going and going, and you're saying to me oh, this person on the internet is telling me I gotta raise my vibration, like live a day in my life. And I get that, but we both know, and I know you can feel it, that you are feeling like there's something more. So why not allow yourself just, the opportunity to believe that. The opportunity to believe that life can be so much better, so much greater than, whatever small thing you make it. Like, it's so much bigger than whatever you got going on right now. And especially like I don't want to say your problems are small, but like your like you know what I mean? Like your life right now, your viewpoint might just be such a little bubble, and you don't even know how big the scope can be, the potential. And this is, for me, feeling like this is coming from like a place of like you had hopes and dreams. I don't want to drag y'all, but it's like this energy that's coming forward of like, I was once, what was that thing they say in Skyrim? I was a warrior like you till I took an arrow to the knee. But like, I was once young and naive, and I was so full of hopes and dreams that like the world got to me, right? Like, I get that, but at the same time, you're like hardening yourself as a way to be like, oh, I was so foolish, and almost like punishing yourself for being like hopeful and childish. But that doesn't serve you at all. It makes you miserable. Why do you want to be living your life so callously? Like, to prove it to who? Like, if I'm here telling you, allow yourself to be goofy and foolish and like, what's the worst that could happen? I'm, like nothing changes, and you're goofy and whatever, and you make yourself laugh a couple of times by being so silly. Is that really that bad? The best thing that could happen is that this resonates with you, this changes your heartscape, and literally the universe responds and grants you a life of your dreams. I think that's not too bad. I think it's like a pretty good trade-off to be like, okay, great, let's do that, and then we will do this. Because, like, this energy of like, okay, my cups are empty and they've sailed away. I've left with nothing. But it's very peaceful and calm. And it's like, at least I have my peace. I'm getting this image of like a balloon tethered to a rock. And it's like the balloon wants to like fly away. And it's like the dreams that you have are like, oh, like look how great and grand they are. But the weight of responsibility is keeping you tethered to the ground. And the funny thing is, it's like, you've been a good balloon. Like, the energy that's coming forward is like, okay, you have to be good. Be good and listen to what the adults say. But it's like, I'm getting also this energy that I'm picking up on of like, there's somebody who's been telling you, okay, be good. You have to do the A, B, and C. Maybe it's me. Do A, B, and C, but they in fact want you to do the complete opposite, because that is what's going to break you free. By breaking the rules, or like the construct in your head of like what it means to be good and living for others. And I don't even think you realize that, how much you're living for other people or living for their approval, that you minimize yourself, you minimize your hopes, you minimize your dreams, you minimize what it is you really want, and you minimize the life you are meant to live. Ooh. Okay. Because we got the 10 of Pentacles. And like, you know how it is when you got a big dog and you come home and they're so happy to see you. That is the joy of their like world, is having the whole family together and like everybody's there. It's like this, for the 10 of Cups could represent him, but I'm really feeling it from the dog, because like the family's together, everything's here. I'm happy. Like, it doesn't take much to make a dog happy. And well, unless you're like a little very, very, very spoiled brat dog. I don't know why I'm getting off track with that, but what's coming forward is that you understand I didn't even realize this. You're flanked by 2 knights. So we got the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Okay. Sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. But understand and know that when you kind of, you know what? I'm going to pull a identifier for that. But like, understand and know that when you're in your power, when you're in where it's this energy of like giving up control or giving up the expectation, like where you're doing things for a specific outcome, where you're like, if I do this, then I get that. And it's like, what's really coming forward is that hasn't worked. Like, if you're a people pleaser, if you're somebody who's been like, I'm really getting with this collective a lot of like family drama or energy with like, it could be like parents, parental units, like brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, whatever you want to do. Familial energy, even people you consider family, the close relationships in your life. You know, it's very tumultuous and it's like the tide. Things come and go, and there's ups and downs. Sometimes it's like good, sometimes like, but like this constant need and this pressure for you to live up to expectations is something that has always been here. And that's what might have been what you've been searching for, is like, okay, what can I do to make these people happy? What can I do to make my society happy? What can I do to make the people around me happy? And it's like, babes, you need to like understand and know that their happiness is not your responsibility. Unburden yourself. Take that weight off your shoulders. Their happiness is not your responsibility. And that's okay. You can't heal everybody. You can't fix everybody. You can have compassion and like, I don't want to say pity, but it's like pity's coming through, so I gotta say it. But like, you can have pity and compassion for people who've been through hard stuff. And it's like, I kind of resonate with this where it's like, some, like, you know what I mean? Like, for those who need to hear this, our parents, although you love them, they did the best they could. And you can accept that fact, but also accept the fact that know that they hurt you. And that's fine. Like, it's not fine. But we can hold those two truths. And it's up for you to decide what you want to do with that. You can continue to have a relationship with them and accept and know that. Or, you know, you could do whatever it is you need to do for your own healing. But, what was my point? But understand and know that their happiness, their joy, their fulfillment, their completion, that's not your responsibility. It's not on your shoulders to fix everyone else's problems. That's too much. And I know you're a little go-getter, you're a little, you know, like people pleaser, and you're ignoring your own wants and needs to do the impossible. And this is something, there's nothing you are going to do that's going to just miraculously fix everything in their lives, and then they just wake up and they're like, I'm so happy. There's a thing with like lottery winners, like they say that when a lottery winner wins the lottery, a year after they win, if their temperament is like they're a happy person or like a depressed, miserable curmudgeon, they go right back to it. Whatever it is. Like, if you were happy before you won the lottery, you'll be happy after you won. If you're miserable before you won the lottery, honey, that money ain't gonna do nothing for you. And you're gonna be miserable with that money or without it. Because there's a lot of lottery winners who lose everything. That's besides the fact. But understand and know, like, if they're on, you know, if they're on their like high horse of like misery. One thing I heard with horses is, you know, like we all experience all these like radical emotions, like, but when we're angry, when we're sad, when we're just like going through it and like, you know, it's as if like there's the real you that's like well-adjusted like person, but it's like you're on a horse and that horse is anger and that horse is leading you down a dark path or sadness or whatever that emotion may be. And finally, when you get back in control of yourself and you're like, where am I? What am I doing? Like you're rational again, you take the reins or you just get off the horse. And if you're on a healing journey, but the people around you are not, they're not going to understand these analogies, then they're not going to understand your growth. They want everything to stay the same. If they're just like this miserable, angry, this dark cloud of a person, and they want, because they're sad and miserable, they want to make everyone else sad and miserable around them. You don't have to be sad and miserable. Like, there's nothing you're going to do to fix their sadness and their misery. So you just should be happy and content being yourself. Like, if you can make yourself laugh, that's kind of what it is. And I'm being called to share this because, like, you know, sometimes with parental figures, they can be all up in their business and be very like angry or like very depressed and like dark cloud of sadness. And like again, there's nothing you can really do to like change or fix or heal them. Like they gotta go on that journey on their own. But when those situations happen for me, my way of diffusing it is I'm a creature of light and of joy. And if I make a dumb joke or I laugh or like I do something that entertains myself, that usually takes my like parents out of their cycle they're on, and they'll laugh with me, or it'll break the tension of that, and it's like mood changer. But it wasn't me going into it being like, I'm gonna make it right. It's like, in this situation, this is what would make me laugh, so I'm gonna do it. That was the motivation. And that is where you need to be coming from. Where it's like, okay, you don't need to be the class clown to make everybody laugh, but if it's something that would make you laugh, do it. Live your life freely and live it for yourself, okay? For right now. For the here and now. And the work you need to be doing is the one that's important for yourself. It's this healing. There's a tie-in to the devil here. Yeah, it's this tie-in to your own healing. It'll unlock something, or it'll just like enliven you, energize you to live a life more in line with like who you see yourself as and who you wish to be. And with this advice, you need to charge boldly towards it. It's not something like, I guess, yeah, you can take baby steps towards being more authentically yourself. And sure, like, yeah, it's gonna be hard, but the sooner you get there, the sooner you get there. That's all I'm gonna say. It's this energy of like, you know what it is you want. And sometimes like, you know how like if you get into like an argument with someone and you like bite your tongue? Don't. I'm giving terrible advice. But it's like, that's the energy I want. If sorry. Okay, maybe that's not the energy I want, but like, if you're getting an impulse to like do something and you're like, oh, I don't know, like what would they say? What would they do? Like if you want to wear something like so outside of what people know you as, like, you know, like if you want to wear, okay, terrible example, but you get what I'm saying, right? But it's like, you're like, oh, I love this style of dressing, but everyone make fun of me. F those people. Allow yourself just to do it because of the fun of it. Go out in that. Like, if it resonates with you, go and embrace it. But if you're doing it to be performative, if you're doing it to like, oh, look what everyone's gonna see me doing this, cut that out. That's not what it is. And again, with the argument, if you know you're like, I should say this, but I'm biting my tongue, maybe just say it. And you let the cards fall where they may. Because if it is authentic and if it is true to you, like you meant it, might as well say it with your whole chest, 10 toes down. And I'm not telling you to go out of there and get into fights with people, but if that's who you are, we'll deal with that, bro. You know, we'll deal with that when that comes. But I think you just need to be in a space of honoring yourself, because this is really coming from a place of you not valuing yourself. This is coming from a place where you've not given yourself like approval. You have not given yourself, what do I want to say? You have not been giving yourself the validation that you matter, that your thoughts, your opinions, your desires are valuable. Like, everyone else is allowed to exist, but you don't allow yourself and your wants and your desires and your needs to exist. It's like you're so preoccupied with, okay, if I do this, like being like needed and being useful, that it's like, okay, if I do this for everyone else, they need me and they'll love me. And that's not it at all. Like, you should not, like, you are worthy of love off the bat. That's it. You were born, you're worthy of love, and you deserve love. There it is. Baby, there you go. You are worthy of love. There you go. Like, okay? And you don't need to do anything else on top of that to be worthy of love. You are worthy of love as it is. And more importantly, you are worthy of your own love. Boom. Like, treat yourself. Treat yourself like, I've said this before, but next time, go after this reading, even right now, find yourself a mirror, go to your bathroom, look in the mirror, okay? Look at yourself. Beautiful. Perfection. But close your eyes and imagine yourself at 5 years old. See yourself as a 5-year-old. That kid, that goofy smile, whatever it was about you, that your heart was fully open and you were so bright-eyed and ready to take on the world. And again, 5 years old, any age you want to choose, but I usually go with 5 because it's like, a fun age. Now open your eyes and see yourself as that child. And now, whenever you speak to yourself, imagine yourself talking to 5-year-old you. You would not be speaking to a innocent, beautiful child with hate and with such animosity, calling like we all, oh, I'm so dumb and blah, 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 with like real resentment and like real vitriol behind it. You would never do that to a child. So understand and know that like a 5-year-old, would you say like a 5-year-old isn't worthy of love? Like, no, that's messed up. So treat yourself with that same level of compassion, with that same level of like, grace. Because it's like, you're human. You can make mistakes and that's perfectly fine. But I want you to baby yourself a little bit more. I want you to really like have more empathy for yourself. Because you have it for everyone else and you do so much for everyone else. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be easier for you to be like, oh, I'm doing it for 5-year-old me, rather than I'm doing it for myself. So that might help you along this journey. With that all being said, I love you so much, bestie. I hope 2026 is spectacular. I know it is by reading these cards. So keep up the good work. And until next time, bye.